You don't know what you don't know, so are you humble enough to address that and do some learning? And more importantly, at the most humble of levels. The hell does that mean? Let's jump in. Yeah, what's up everyone? Welcome to Filmspiration. My name is writer-director Edgar, and this is The Process. So, today was kind of a interesting day, I guess we can say. I did get up, edited a scene from the feature film, All We Have, coming up. Went to work and took a little extra time at work because I needed to give a certain news story a little extra time to make sure it was done right. I would rather make sure that something is done right versus just trying to rush it and go home. In doing so, I had to basically block out the chaos of the world around me, ironically enough, right, in a news department. The big news of the day, of course, as it has been for the past, I don't know, like for a little while now, coronavirus, was that here in Pima County, basically the city of Tucson in southern Arizona, but mainly out of Pima County, coronavirus, it has now officially been reported by Pima County that one person has the coronavirus. So the coronavirus is now here in Pima County, and then of course your coronavirus news from the state and national levels, etc. So, and international too. I understand Italy's on full lockdown, so a lot going on in the world with coronavirus. Came home a little bit later because I had to finish that news story, as I was telling you, and then my first question was like, what am I going to talk about on Filmspiration tonight, honestly, because I was so mentally depleted that I've got a list of ideas, but you guys ever have those days when you're just like, not that one, not this one, not this one, this one's not relevant, this one's not relevant, why this one today? So I was kind of having one of those days. And then I listened to Alex Ferrari on the Indie Film Hustle. If you guys have not heard Mr. Alex Ferrari or the Indie Film Hustle, amazing wealth of knowledge and information this guy brings to the forefront through either his main website or his main YouTube channel. I think it's his main YouTube channel, Indie Film Hustle, or also Filmtrepreneur, which is another website and YouTube channel. And so just all kinds of great information with regards to film production, micro budget film production, film distribution, what's the latest that's going on. And so he can tell you a whole lot more with regards to today's episode, with regards to how the coronavirus is affecting so many aspects of the independent, or I'm sorry, not just the independent films. It's late and I'm really tired, but I'm gonna try to not screw this up. About how his episode was about how the coronavirus is actually infecting the film. Did I say infecting? Affecting the film and television world, and all these different events and whatnot being canceled, and how money's going to dry up. Now, I don't say that so that way you can be like, oh, well, I don't have to watch Alex Ferrari's Independent Film Hustle. No, I'm actually going to put that link in the description below. That's how much a fan I am of his work, and I really do encourage you to go on over to his channels, check out his content, get familiar with him if you're not already. If you are, kudos to you. But and I really do hope that you go on over and check out his stuff. But to go off of that, there were many messages and many things that he brought to the forefront. Honestly, there are things that I'm not even going to pretend that I can compete with. Not that it is a competition, but just pretend that I can speak to. He's highly knowledgeable with regards to what's going on in the entertainment industry, numbers, stats, facts, and figures, etc. I'm going to leave that to him. Again, great guy, great show, great content to fill you in. Again, the link will be in the description. But one of the two big takeaways is that I took away from his show today were, number one, this is affecting the film and television industry and coronavirus, and number two, and he goes into how that is, and number two, money's going to become that much more of an issue, as if it wasn't already, right? And so you know, for all of us independent filmmakers, and you guys making the 50, 100, $250,000 movies, kudos to you. I love you guys, but I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the grassroots shoestring budget, micro budget independent filmmakers. I'm talking to you guys. Money's always been an issue for us, and so what I wanted to bring to the forefront from my behalf with regards to how, you know, where this dialogue fits into the whole coronavirus thing is, it's gonna have to come back to autonomy. But then again, those of us who are, at least those of us who are old enough to know, or those of us who have been paying attention, have known that for a while. Or maybe if you're a person who hasn't ignored that information that's always been there. In my case, coming of age and coming of my consciousness in the 1990s, it had always been there from the days of, you know, your Kevin Smiths, your Tarantinos, your Robert Rodriguez, independent film days. The knowledge of basically understanding that, you know what, you might have to rely on yourself for autonomy. And you might have to strengthen up your autonomy a whole lot more. That might be the thing that you're gonna probably have to do. And especially if you want to tell your own story. I think that's kind of always been the case. And so I know that there are different film productions at different levels. You know, maybe your 20, 50, 100,000, $500,000 budgets. If that's you, great, power to you. And yes, everything that Alex Ferrari says definitely takes into consideration, because one of his big messages is how this could affect you at any and all levels, with regards to, you know, if you are somehow connected to content creation in the film realm or episodic television, etc., television in general. You guys, it goes back to autonomy and remaining strong in what you know how to do, what you're willing to do, what you're learning, what you're willing to learn to do. Are you willing to learn how to shoot, how to edit? I mean, everything, all the knowledge is there on YouTube, on so many other places on the internet as well, but you know, my hardcore focus is here on YouTube. But it goes back to, are you humble enough to understand that it comes down to autonomy and to you doing a lot of the heavy lifting? Now, I'm not just talking about the moments where, you know, you show up on set and, you know, everything looks really sexy with the camera and you do your set selfie, hashtag set life. Like, that's all fine and dandy, but I'm also talking specifically to the people who are doing that heavy lifting, that you know, those hours of, you know, maybe you're getting up at crazy hours, maybe you're not going to bed till really early because you never went to bed at all the night before after work. You know, I'm talking to you all who decide to shoulder a little bit more of that workload, because yes, that is more responsibility on your shoulders, but at the same time, that's less people to depend on. I'm talking to you guys who are, that's my question to you. Are you willing to understand that it's going to come back to, and it always has come back to, autonomy? It's always been about that autonomy, and if you're willing to exercise it. Because when you do exercise more autonomy, now don't get me wrong either, because I've been accused of, you know, being I got called closed-minded one time. I got called somebody with power control issues, just because, and I'm not any of those things. If you know me, I like to do a lot because I like to put a lot of that burden and responsibility of the main roles on my shoulders. Does that mean that I think I can do everything? No, and I don't think you should feel or think that you can do everything on your own. I think when it comes back to, you know, autonomy, and why that matters is because when you exercise more autonomy, you depend on less people, you pay less people, unless you have the money, power to you, awesome. My problem is when people let me give you an example. When people have come to me in the past, they're like, hey, I've got a story, I've got an idea or a grand vision, but not a single peep, actually crickets, with regards to where's the money gonna come from? How are you gonna pay me? How are you gonna pay the other actors? Talk of money for food, for gasoline, for things like you don't hear nothing with regards to those things. And that, frankly, like, I'm kind of past the days where I'm not noticing that anymore. Like, I notice that. And so if you have the money to pay people for your desire to lack autonomy, power to you and kudos to you. If you don't have the money, that's fine. You've got hustle. You've got the will, the desire to still do your thing. But the thing is that I think it comes back to autonomy, but at the most humble of levels. Now, what that means, when I said that at the very beginning of the show, is do I think it's cool when I know people that, have gotten their thing on Netflix or any of the other major platforms. Of course, I know Netflix is like the crowning one that, everyone's, it's got to be Netflix, right? It doesn't have to be Netflix. But it's cool when you can get your movie on there, for sure. But the thing is that, is it the only way to get your movie made and out there? No. And so what I'm getting at is, are you willing to work at a realistic level? Are you willing to take a look at the platforms that are available to you and work with those, and not just kind of figure things out also, but like learn to dig on the internet, learn to search for the answers, learn to devise the questions of, okay, how do I do my first short film? How do I do a short film? How can I do this feature film a whole lot better? How do I go about film distribution? The answers are out there, and I'm constantly looking. And no, I'm not constantly looking to see how I get my movie on Netflix or any of that. Like, I'm constantly looking to see what other people are doing in the grassroots, in the trenches, to see what's working for them. And that's what I call the humble level. All I mean by that is working with the tools and the platforms that are readily available, like readily available for any filmmaker out there who wants to put in the work, who wants to roll up their sleeves and put in that work, so to speak. I had a friend once upon a time, and he would see, like, here's the fact of the matter. 39, pushing 40. I picked up a camera when I was 14. Freshman in high school was my dad's video camera, and then it was, camera to VCR editing, all that story, right? And then eventually, it evolved to a very blessed career. I've never stopped making, feature films, even when I found my voice. Or I'm sorry, not feature films, mostly short films and short form content, and we're currently working on my second feature film. But my point is that I'm about to, I'm pushing 40, and I've been doing that since I was 14. That's 25, almost 26 years numerically, okay? What I'm getting at is, that's 25, let's work with the number 25. That's 25 years or a quarter century of this thing called filmmaking that I cannot let go of. And when you're hungry and you can't let go of it, it not producing any money doesn't matter to me. I mean, obviously it'd be really awesome if I could make some money, but the thing is, I've always had a job, thankfully. And I've always been a very hard worker. Hard work, please, like, hard work don't scare me worth a damn. I've always been a very hard worker. So the fact that, it's hard to make money making a film, that doesn't scare me. Not to the point of, getting to a point of saying, okay, I can't do this and I'm gonna let it go. Like, hell no. Like, if you love it, you're gonna do it, like, money or not. And hopefully you do get to a point of the money coming in afterwards. But if you, again, back to what I was originally saying, if you love it, you're gonna do it, money or not. You're gonna figure out a freaking way to do it, money or not. And in all this time, especially with the emergence of such teaching technology such as YouTube, the web as a whole, you know, with so many different ways, so many different platforms to just kind of dig and see what other people are doing, see what's working for them, seeing what I can take away from that. A friend that I used to have would consider all that digging and searching and trying and digging and searching and trying this and trying that, and ooh, look at this website, or I discovered this other website, or I just, you know, it's like that person, knowing that person would have been like, you know, like I'm tired of tweaking, I'm tired of trying again over and over and over again. And honestly, if that's gonna be your attitude about it, and not, you know, not just for this person, but I think for anyone, for any one of us, including myself, then forget it. Like, you know, then you're just closing yourself off, because on one hand you might be, you know, getting yourself to think like, okay, this is the thing, this is how you do it, and that's it. I'm done searching for more answers. I'm done searching for, you know, okay, I could understand why that thinking would be appealing, but then you're not working on your autonomy. You're not constantly digging over here on this end for the new answers, or for, you know, new research as to what's going on with the film market and what it looks like for the film market, and, you know, different ways and techniques about going about making your film, distributing your film, propagating your film. You know, you might feel, okay, you've got it set and fixed this one way over here. I see it all the opposite. Now, if we flip that on its head, I think that because I have never stopped like looking for the answers and searching and all that stuff, and I call that continual learning. And you know what? There's gonna be a lot of stuff that I'm just like, nah, this is dumb. Like, this is stupid, or I don't agree with this. And there's gonna be a lot of other stuff where I'm just like, oh wow, like I never thought of this, you know, with regards to like indie film hustle. I realized, and I guess I'm going off on this rant because like that's just a part of my growth. That's just one of the latest parts of my growth, of my overall autonomy of all these years. And I don't consider it endless and pointless tweaking and retweaking the way this person and former friend would consider it. I would consider it refining and refining and refining. I mean, what happens when you sharpen a knife, you use it, what happens? It goes a little dull. What do you do after that? You sharpen it again. And so when you're constantly working on your autonomy, when you're constantly digging and searching for, and God, listen, I'm listening to myself and I'm just realizing like I'm just rambling on, but I don't have the answers. Here's my answer. My answer is that I don't have the answers, but the answer is to dig for the answers. The answer is to dig for, hell, even the questions, to then get to the answers of how do I make my movie? How do I distribute my film? Does that make sense? Like, I don't have the answers, but I'm encouraging you to pose the questions, not for me. You know, go ahead and write them in the comments below if you want, but pose them for yourself, and never stop reaching, never stop learning, never stop, never stop working on your autonomy, never stop digging for those answers. Because when you stop digging for those answers, that's it, that's when it's over. And I don't ever want to be that person that stops sharpening my knife, that stops refining, or at least checking out what new information is out there to then, decide, okay, whether or not I want to apply this or that to my situation. You guys, always, 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 please search for those answers. Hell, search for the questions. Maybe you don't even know what questions to ask. Ask a question to find the question, to search for the answers of whatever the answers may be. I know that's very vague. I know that's very like Zen Buddhist type of speak, so to speak. But just in general, like you guys, there's so many great resources. I'm going to put Alex Ferrari, and then also D for Darius. I'm another great resource. I'm going to put those links below, you guys. Really take a listen. They have a lot of great information, but what I'm encouraging you to do is to never stop searching for the answers to better your filmmaking process. The more I look, the more I realize, wow, there's a lot that I can still learn. There's a lot that I can still, you know, consume when it's not on Netflix, when I'm not, you know, watching a new movie or something on Netflix. There's still a lot that I can consume. Never stop searching for the answers or the questions to then get the answers that are gonna just make your process that much better. That's all I got. Now, if I keep on going, especially in this state, I'm gonna just be basically a broken freaking record. You guys, I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button as well as that little bell. That way you're notified. And please hit all notifications. That way you're notified next time I make a new video. You guys, if you have a higher power, consult your higher power. If not, run out there, do your thing, tell your stories. Don't let anyone control your stuff. Your dreams, your stories, make them happen. I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys later. Adios.